Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is AshQuest, and if you're like me, you've been wondering where all of these people have been getting these amazing homebrew cards for HeroQuest. Well, wonder no more, that is where Actionfence comes in. Actionfence.itch.io actually has two card creators and a companion app. The Riot Quest card creator, the Battle World companion app for Marvel's Battle World, and the HeroQuest card creator, which we're going to take a look at today. Now, this tool will run in your browser, or you can download it and use it on your Windows machine. Other platforms are not supported. However, I have seen some reports that it does have limited functionality on your Android device. That might be completely dependent on what version of Android you have, so we won't get into that, but we will run this in our browser today. Made with Unity. Fantastic. All right, right away. Beautiful presentation. In the very center of our app, we have the recreation of the mentor version of the wizard that came with our mythic tier HeroQuest. Right now, he just has 0 attack dice, defend dice, 0 body, 0 mind, 2 starting dice for movement, and no name. We can change everything about this card, however. We can even change the appearance of the background in it. We have the upper left corner, which will allow us to select, it looks like different types of cards, and the name of the card, image, and notes that we can plus or minus. We can also manipulate the stats present on the bottom of the card, including the attack dice, defend dice, body points, mind points, and move dice. We have in the upper right-hand corner of the screen how to save the card or edit the hard-coded text. That's really cool. And of course, cards are saved to the downloads folder. And we have access to the image controller controls in the right. We're going to see what all of these things do. First of all, the easiest and most obvious thing, we're going to change the number of attack dice and defend dice and all of those. And it looks like we have total control over all of that. If you want to go into double digits, you can. And if we push that a little bit farther and test it, you can go into triple digits. I can't imagine that this goes less than 999, but it might even go up to 4 digits if you really want to get crazy. Anyway, the movement dice can also be changed in this fashion, and they go up to 3 digits as well. And that's nuts. We could easily also make all of these lower numbers down to zeros, and if you hit the minus button while it's at a 0, it'll give you a little asterisk. It'll give you a star. And in this way, I guess you can refer to the notes to determine how many of each attribute this character will have. So there's that covered. Let's move on to the name. We're going to just name this guy Cornelius. Why? I don't know. Just as tribute. Just as tribute to Cornelius the dragon. We can click this button to load our image, and I do have an image of Cornelius here. It turns out very small, but we'll address that here in just a moment. Next, we have notes. We can take the notes away, which there are none, and we can add some. This actually gives us a section in the lower left-hand corner. We'll have to scroll down to see it though. And you can actually add more notes. Let's see exactly what that means. Equipment type, I guess I'll just say red scales, and we'll see where that appears right here at the bottom. Right here at the bottom. What happens if I type here? It just adds a new line to the card. Beautiful. Fire breath. We can continue adding equipment types, I believe. Just hit next, and then the next one, which is wings. There we go. Now we have equipment right here. It would be best if we stuck with the 1 line, so we'll go ahead and use this to remove lines. I see everything moves back down once we do that. That's fine. You can change this to say starting equipment, and then, red scales. All right, what if I wanted to make that image a little bit bigger? We have the image controller, and if we hit the different buttons on the image controller, we can actually manipulate the position of the image. We can hit the plus and minus keys in order to blow up this image or shrink it. And I think right about here is fine. I should have made the white background transparent, and I know transparency works in the app, but let's demonstrate that anyway. There we go. Now, if you're working with PNG images, PNGs, you might need a higher bit depth than what you originally had if you're planning on adding transparency to the image. Just a quick tip. We can make this image huge, and it'll actually go off the borders of the card, which gives it a really cool effect, I think. Really adds to the sheer size of this monster, but it does take away from him being a dragon, which is a bit weird. Anyway, you can also go up to the top here, and since I cut off his horn, I'm going to do that. So now everything is bordered correctly. We can also hit the default button, which I think will shrink him back down, so we won't do that. Let's change the type of card that this is and see what happens. Here, we're currently on character. We can change it to monster, and unfortunately, that actually changes absolutely everything about the card, but it does save our original setup for the hero card that we made, so that's fine. Now, we have a couple of different things that go on when we switch the card template, because the controls around the card have to change, because like not every card is going to have stats that you can change, and some cards do have the stats in different places, so your formatting will be a little bit different. But we can make monster cards, and we can actually change the icon in the lower left of the card, which is really cool. We can change the picture for event cards like this one, and we can even make our own card back, as well as custom cards. Check it out, I made my own event card. Fly, you fools. Mentor pretends to be Gandalf as the gargoyle bears down on him. He then falls into a pit trap, ending his turn. We've got a couple of typos here. There we go. You could absolutely change the default stuff. Anyway, I want to see what this looks like when we save it. So let's save the card. And there it is. There is the card that I made. It actually has black hard edges, not transparent. We'll have to make those transparent ourselves if we're planning on printing this card, or otherwise use scissors, I guess, to go around those beveled edges if we're trying to get those rounded corners on our physical product. Now, I did want to go over the notes in the bottom right of the screen here. They contain very useful and helpful information. All images do need to be PNG files. The monster icon is the only image that can't be controlled by the image controller. Monster icons should be a minimum of 225 by 225 pixels. So that icon is set in its position on the monster card. All text boxes can use RTF tags to make things bold, italic, underlined, etc. So basically HTML tags. That's interesting. So if I were to put an I, for example, at the beginning, it does. It makes it italic. That is really cool. And we can make it bold as well. And we can make it italic and bold. That's awesome. That is really cool. So this would have a use if you're trying to write your description and you need to write something like, can only use the fire breath ability if very angry. I underscored very angry with a U tag and fire breath with a B tag. I enclosed it in a B and end B /B tags to get that bold effect there. But it's this last part that I really wanted to call attention to. It's very important. This is a fan-made application by Actionfence. Updated template graphics provided by ucyber-333. No infringement is intended with this software. HeroQuest is owned by Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, Avalon Hill, and whoever else is connected to it. Do not use this software for monetary gain. So monetary is typoed, it is misspelled, but the message is very clear. You can't use this for commercial purposes, just personal purposes. Also, there's a bit of an error in the copyright notice. It is copyright Hasbro. Wizards of the Coast has nothing to do with HeroQuest. But confusion on that aside, please follow the creator's wishes to not have the stuff made here for monetary gain. Anyway, guys, that is a look at Actionfence's HeroQuest card creator. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment anything you'd like down below, and you'll also find the link to this card creator in the description below. It is, of course, free to use and very, very easy to use. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and onward, brave heroes.